You're on your own.
Oke. This is it, Dari. Boom. Anjrit. Go away, bitch. It's deketin dulu. Iya, tiar. Kelima. Terus dari sini biar kita tahu dia mau masuknya dari mana aja. Wah, bulldozer datang. Keren. Ya ampun, banyak banget lagi.
Help you folks? Name's Randolph. I'm the manager.
We're looking for Rose. Works as a waitress down at the diner.
Rose, sure. Nice girl. Who wants to know?
I'm Alan Wake.
The writer, huh? I heard on the radio you were visiting. Well, I'll show you her trailer. That Rose, she's a nice girl. Always pays her rent on time.
As I was saying, Al, I found all sorts of weird stuff from the local newspaper's archives. This place is crazy. Disappearances, mysterious deaths, urban legends come true, and get this, most of this stuff takes place around Cauldron Lake.
Well, you ain't wrong, mister. The Indians thought the lake was a doorway to the underworld. I'm the God-fearing type myself. I don't hold with that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, there was an island there owned by a guy called Thomas Zane. Now, some of the articles I found about him make him out to be a famous writer, but I ran a bunch of searches, couldn't find a single thing he wrote. Zane was heavily into diving, so much so that the place came to be called Diver's Isle. But the volcano under the lake erupted in 1970, and Zane went down with the island.
Oke, halo guys, balik lagi di Better Late Than Never. Kali ini aku mau lanjutin main game Alan Wake, game horor yang menegangkan. Semua game horor menegangkan sih guys buat aku. Oke, kita langsung mulai aja.
Is a cozy place that recently had a bit of a shock when a sailing boat picked up by a tornado crashed in the middle of two trailers. This is a location that for a long time looked like it was not going to make it in the final game. But I'm glad it did, because I think it's one of those places that helps define the character and style of the game in a visual way.
Kalau kita jalan biasa nih,
when we went out photo shooting along the Pacific Northwest area, we came across many trailer parks, and we have plenty of material for them. So I think that really shows in the authenticity of this location.
Oke, lama juga nih. Kesini kan ya Pak? Masih ditutup guys.
It gets better. A local girl, Barbara Jagger, drowned in Cauldron Lake just a week earlier. They were lovers.
Sure, Jagger's a local spook store. The Scratchin' Hag comes for you in the dark. Childish stuff like that.
Anyway, Al, I'm just getting to the best part. All of the articles about this stuff were written by Cynthia Weaver. I asked around, and she's that crazy bag lady you met.
What, the lamp lady? She can be a little loopy, but she's not homeless or anything.
Yeah, anyway, she knew both Jagger and Zane before they both died, and she had some kind of a breakdown.
Jadi, terus ngapain tadi ke tong sampah? Capek deh.
Welcome to, oh dear, Mr. Wake. I'm so glad you're here.
Rose, you have my manuscript?
Oh yes. Yes. Please, come in.
Ini bukannya setan ya? Si ini.
Hey, this is really good.
Apa? Ceweknya.
Rose.
Yes.
Rose.
My manuscript. I really need it.
I understand.
Tuh.
I know what you need. A muse to inspire you.
Oh, for Barry.
She doesn't have anything.
Yeah, hey, Al, what's... Oh,
Wah, pingsan guys.
Barry! What?
Wah, diracun guys ternyata. Wah, serem nih. Oke.
It's coming for you, hiding in my barber's skin. I'm too weak to stop it. You must turn the lights on.
I promised I'd come visit you and your lovely wife. You must finish what you started. I insist.
You must turn the lights on. Turn the light on.
Back to work, boy.
Gila, langsung nyalain lampu habis mimpi buruk guys. Refleks banget nih si Alan ya.
I felt nauseous, hungover. Only anger kept me going.
I can't tell reality from dream anymore, but it seems I have an imaginary...
Rose took a day from me. I had less than 12 hours left to meet the kidnapper. All I could do was get Barry into the car, work something out once I got on the road.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner. What can I get you today? Coffee?
I couldn't work up much hate for Rose. Something had used her to get to me and left its mark.
First refill is free. Milk and sugar.
Okay.
My gun and flashlight were gone. I'd have to find a way to get
The
Barry
Dark
into
Presence is the
car
main
as quickly
adversary
as
in our
possible.
game, and
There was no time to
I wouldn't
waste.
necessarily call it evil, but it is completely alien to our world, and that may pretty much be the same thing. We don't really want to explain the Dark Presence in too much detail. We kind of want it to remain a mystery, but let me say this much. It's definitely not human. It doesn't think the way we do. A good example of this would be when Wake actually escapes from the cabin, and he actually just sits there and writes the whole thing into the story, and the Dark Presence is right there, and it just doesn't understand what's going on. It doesn't work on that level of logic. On the other hand, it can be very devious. For example, it has no problems whatsoever using Alice and Rose against Wake in a very, very sort of, contrived manner.
Oke guys, kita
And it works
diminta
very
untuk
well
ke
too.
mobil ya.
We talked quite a bit
Bentar,
about
kita
the Dark
lihat-lihat
Presence
dulu
being weak
ada
in the
apa gak?
beginning of the game, and that's true as far as it goes, but it only refers to the foothold it has.
Udah kelamaan guys.
God knows what you've done to that poor girl.
This is Agent Nightingale, FBI! Get him up, Hemingway! You're under arrest! You move a muscle, I'll unload right in your goddamn face! Stay right where you are, Spillane!
Tembak guys. Ya iya. Harus ke hutan lagi kah?
I'm standing right here, you goddamn maniac!
I hated to leave Barry behind, but there was no way I'd miss my appointment with the kidnapper.
Escape the police. Oke, jadi misinya si Alan Wake nggak jauh-jauh dari hutan ya guys. Karena kalau nggak di hutan mungkin nggak serem. Kita udah nggak punya senjata, nggak punya center lagi guys. Oke, aku belum tahu nih kita harus bisa jongkok. Kita harus apa? Tapi kita kabur aja dulu dari polisi. Stop running. Emang dia lihat kita? Lihat tuh. Oke. Lari.
Oh, damn.
Damn katanya. Lari. Ya udah capek dia si Alan. Ini Alan harus sering-sering olahraga nih guys. Kalau enggak capek mulu dia. Aduh, bentar. Oke, kita lanjut guys. Kita belum escape juga ternyata. Wah, ini sih tanda-tanda ada setan nih kayaknya. Ya. Terus ada yang kejar kita gak sih? Apa kita nggak bisa ke sana kali? Belum ada setan dong. Belum ada senjata nih kita. Oh, ketutup guys itu emang. Ya udah, balik berarti jalan satu-satunya cuma ke sana guys. Kita nggak bisa kemana-mana lagi. Dan yang pastinya si polisi ini apa ya, hancurnya gara-gara setan itu sih guys. Oke, checkpoint pertama. Terus sampai ditembakin flare gun loh. Cuma buat cari kita. Tadi lihat kita. Polisi pada meninggal kah? Run tuh pada lari guys. Pada diserang ini. Ya. Lampu sudah mulai mati.
This horror was everywhere I went, circling me. The cops didn't stand a chance. They were after a writer, not a monster.
Katanya horornya ada di mana-mana guys. Jadi ini kali ya, di apa namanya? Kena kutukan. Ya Allah nih kena kutukan kayaknya guys. Oke, checkpoint lagi. Terus sampai ada helikopter nih. Iya, ada burung-burung setan. Oke, burung-burung itu mengejar si helikopter itu guys itu. Wah, langsung hancur loh helikopternya. Wah. Oke. Udah hancur. Tapi masih ada tulisan escape dari the police ya. Kita ambil termos dulu. Nyalain radio.
This is James. Mulligan Thornton, come in. Over. Thornton here. James, we got both Wheeler and Rose in custody. They just put up a fight or anything.
Sekarang kita harus.
Sit down and give me that. James, Mulligan here. Over.
I could see the lights of the radio station in the distance.
We got Wheeler and Rose here.
Oke, kita harus ke sana sih harusnya.
Speaking of which, that Fed had a pretty distinctive whiff of
Iya.
Scotch about it. Over.
Oke, berarti turun ke sana. Oke lah. Kita belum tahu nih bakalan ada apa lagi di petualangan kali ini guys, bersama si Alan Wake. Mana sih tadi guys? Awas Alan. Jalannya bisa jatuh soalnya guys. Ini sih kita nggak bisa jongkok ya.
I imagine that the broadcast tower in the distance was part of the local radio station. Maine seemed like a decent guy. Perhaps he could give me directions to the coal mine.
It's the radio station. Oke. Tanpa ada perlengkapan apa-apa nih.
Unnatural shadows clung to the gate. The
Maksudnya?
darkness that was saturated. I wouldn't get through without light.
Destroy the gate. Oh, pakai lampu itu tuh. Sabar, kita ambil termos lagi. Kita lihat-lihat dulu apakah ada senjata atau peluru. Bentar. One, two.
The old generator conked out. I'd have to see if I could fix it and try again.
Cara perbaikinya. Balik lagi. Oh, di kick. Satu, dua. Udah ya. Udah bener. Oke. Yes. Buka. Oke, udah kebuka guys. Jadi untuk menghancurkan semua setan-setannya ya, termaksud yang tadi pintunya kan nggak tahu lah diapain setannya. Kita harus pakai cahaya guys. Nah, si Alan mah sebenarnya cuma butuh senter aja yang banyak, sama yang senternya cahayanya paling gede. Udah selamat semestinya. Gak perlu pakai apa namanya. Aduh, serem amat dah. Cuma pintu gitu ya sampai bunyinya loh. Tap the flashlight terus. Biar. Oke, kita udah punya center.
It took me a moment to recognize the flashbang grenades. They were
Obviously one of the most useful tools that the gameplay designers have. We call it beds, or bringing enemies to the sea. It started off as a simple spawning system, but as time went on, it evolved into something bigger. It actually now incorporates build-up as well. You hear the whispers and sounds that the darkness creates, and, well, the darkness itself actually appearing in the forest. It hides the enemies when they actually get close to you. On top of that, we have a reveal system, which shows the first enemy attacking you, but we do it only once per combat. After that, you're on your own.
Oke. This is it, Dari. Boom. Wah, keren sih guys, sekarang kita nyerang setannya udah nggak pakai senjata lagi. Ini ada lagi. Anjrit. Go away, bitch. It's nggak bisa guys. Wah, flashbangnya tinggal 2 nih bos. Oh, kalau dia keluar lagi sih kacau. Ya, yang banyak dong sekali keluar. Go. Wah, tinggal satu guys. Aku tetap merinding guys. Walaupun pakai flashbang, karena flashbangnya terbatas. Satu dong. Oh banyak guys. Lari lan. Iya. Oke, bye bye. Kamu tidak bisa datang mendekat kepadaku, bitch.
And here's another call. You're on KBFFM with Pat Main. It's Milt Peabody, Pat. What's on your mind, Milt?
Dia punya 5 flashbang. Ternyata flashbang lebih powerful ya guys. Sekali pakai kita bisa menghancurkan atau membunuh. Mana? Dia datang lagi gak? Beberapa monster atau setan yang mendekat. Wush, semua datang sini, deketin dulu. Iya, dar. Oh my god, ini yang aku tunggu-tunggu guys. Walaupun aku tetap merinding, tapi senjata ini sekali lempar, dar, musuh semua pada mati. Tetap harus waspada ya. Anjir. Main bacoknya ini orang. Anjir. Kita harus hemat flashbangnya sih. Tinggal 2 guys. Ya ampun, satu-satu, jangan satu-satu ah. Nggak mau gue kok. Oh, oke, 2 3. Ya. Gak bisa lagi guys. Gak bisa. Gimana dong? Tinggal 1 guys, sayang. Karena pergi. Ya udahlah, paksa guys, daripada kita mati. Di sini isinya flashbang pasti. Ya baterai sama apa nih? Apa flare doang? Nggak ada gun. Apa nih? Walking in light. Oke. Oke, itu cuma pertanda doang ya. Trust no one in the dark. Oke. Kita udah nggak punya flashbang, kita punya flare gun doang. Cara keluar ini gimana? Yang ini gimana? Ya banyak banget dong. Ini semua deket sini. Gak bisa guys, gimana bunuh nih kalau kayak gini? Nggak kena. Anjrit, yang ini kena. Ya ini mau mati guys. Aku Dari. Gak ada cahaya lagi guys. Ini bisa cahaya lampu ini. Ya, sedih deh. Sedih kita mati guys. Kita udah gak punya senjata, udah gak punya apa-apa. Agak ngeselin sih game ini sebenarnya. Gak bisa ngelawan. Mau apa? Bingung juga aku. Survive-nya gimana ya guys? Lari. Jerit, main pukul aja nih orang. Jalan. Lari lan. Masalahnya nggak jelas sih. Pas flare gunnya kita nyalain, kita nggak bisa lari. Padahal flare gun sama ini kan nggak ada urusannya guys sama lari. Coba gak? Paham nggak kalian? Nggak ada urusannya. Lari lan, itu udah sampai stasiun, radio station, tunggu aku. Anjrit. Susah nih. Lari lan, nggak bisa, kita nggak bisa lawan lan. Lari. Mampus lu nggak bisa masuk.
We don't see a lot of Pat Main in the game, but actually he has a considerable presence.
Ternyata emang begitu guys.
Wake was that we really wanted to maintain that small town atmosphere, but that's very hard to do when you don't actually spend a lot of time in the small town itself. A familiar and dependable radio will solve that problem. Also, I think RJ Allison, who plays Pat Main, did a wonderful job. He really nails the character, and it's so great to be alone in the dark and then hear that warm and dependable voice.
Well, thank you very much for that compassionate viewpoint,
Florida.
Oh, here's a little surprise. The famous writer Alan Wake just walked in. Folks, I'm going to see if I can talk him into an interview.
Buka, Pak. Pak, buka.
Come on in, Mr. Wake.
Come on, Mr. Wake. Kata.
Oh, I'm so glad you could find the time to do this, Mr. Wake.
Ya. Tangkap si Alan.
Whoa, everyone calm down. Put the gun down. We're all friends here, right?
Cool your jets, Nightingale. We got him. What the hell's the matter with you? There's a civilian in there.
Tadi katanya polisi udah pada mati. Jadi Alan yang digebukin.
I had fallen off so many cliffs it was ridiculous. That's what you get for naming a boat a sudden stop.
Here we have another really well set up journey. The train depot and the bridge in the distance, well visible from early on. As an interesting side note, this whole area was originally just a minor branch. Not even a branch. Alan Wake just basically had to get a car from the forest and continue towards the mining museum. With months of iteration and looking at the possibilities given by the environment, we found out that this area could have lots of poltergeist events, could have hidden routes and so forth. The bridge and the train depot all
harus nyalain lampu secepet-cepetnya nih. Ya anjing, bisa begitu. Sabar dong. Satu, dua. Hits. Ya, balik lagi pakai senjata kita, guys. Mestinya pakai flashbang aja tuh udah enak, guys. Pakai flashbang juga udah mantep. Ini kemana nih? Gila, keroyokan lu ya. Mari lan.
There was no sensible reason for the power company work lights to be
Ya
here.
ampun.
It was as if they'd been left for someone like me to use.
Turn on. Kita punya flashbang satu. Oke, seharusnya sih bakalan banyak setan nih. Ini banyak lampu soalnya guys. Karena nggak mungkin nggak ada setan kalau banyak lampu. Masa nggak ada senjata yang lain ya guys ya? Tuh kan aku sudah bilang pasti akan banyak setan. Bener saja anjir. Banyak setan. Kita harus nyalain lampu lagi. Mau apa? Mau apa? Ya anjir tuh. Sedih nggak apa-apa. Ya. Oke, kita nyalain dulu berarti ya. Sebelum kita masuk ngambil peluru, kita harus nyalain dulu. Ini nyala belum? Mati. Oke, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kita harus dari sini biar kita tahu dia mau masuknya dari mana aja. Ini set rajanya nih. Lari ke cahaya dulu. Berat nih. Berat kayak gini nih. Sebentar. Kok mati ganti-gantian sih anjir, nggak jelas. Coba. Belum. Jadi makin banyak guys. Nggak jelas. Ini coba dong. Kita nggak boleh. Nih, yang ini yang serem nih, yang bahaya. Sini semua maju. Wah, mati langsung kan. Mana? Oh, ini nih yang serem nih. Dari belakang nggak? Nah, itu kan enak datangnya satu-satu. Kita juga bisa lawannya kalau datangnya ganti-gantian ya guys. Kalian curang. Ada lagi guys. Sih serem amat guys hawanya. Dari itu. Oke, kita harus ke depot air itu, guys. Telepon dong.
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan. Alan. I'm so afraid. It keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. Something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful. Cooperate.
The connection had been terrible, but that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow, but she had called me. I could see a railway bridge up ahead, and a warehouse of some sort on the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car.
Everybody knows the movie Poltergeist, but I wouldn't say that it was the origin for this idea. This game is about possession. It's about the dark presence taking over everything in the world. It started off with humans, and, well, in the design, the inanimate objects were the next logical step. One of the hardest things to do was to convey intent. The objects don't have any body language, unlike the tape. How we ended up with the current feature was that the lead writer actually encountered a problematic physical object. It flickered around the terrain erratically, and you really couldn't tell what is going to happen next. And that ended up being a real feature. And you can see the result.
Ampun dah, guys. Gila.
On the opposite shore.
Capek deh.
Everybody knows the movie
Nggak ada
Poltergeist. I
setan.
wouldn't say that it was the
Besi
origin for
pun
this
bisa
idea.
membunuh kita,
This
guys.
game is about
Ternyata.
possession. It's about the dark presence taking over everything in the world. It started off with humans, and, well, in the design, the inanimate objects were the next logical step. One of the hardest things to do was to convey intent. The objects don't have any body language, unlike the tape. How we ended up with the current feature was that the lead writer actually encountered a problematic physical object. It flickered around the terrain erratically, and you really couldn't tell what is going to happen next. And that ended up being a real feature. And here you can see the result.
Awas nih. Mana sih tadi yang motor tuh? Oh. Gue udah tekan center. Anjrit.
On the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car here.
Everybody knows the movie Poltergeist, but I wouldn't say that it was the origin for this idea. This game is about possession. It's about the dark presence taking over everything in the world. It started off with humans, and, well, in the design, the inanimate objects were the next logical step. One of the hardest things to do was to convey intent. The objects don't have any body language, unlike the taken. How we ended up with the current feature was that the lead writer actually encountered a problematic physical object. It flickered around the terrain erratically, and you really couldn't tell what is going to happen next. And that ended up being a real feature. And here you can see the result.
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in its path.
Ya ampun, udah jauh bos. Wah kacau sini. Kacau. Besi aja bisa nyerang kita guys. Dosa apa kamu Lan?
As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Oke. Siapa lagi? Pecah lampunya. Oke. Ya ampun dah. Banyak banget tuh guys. Lari. Ya nggak bisa anjir. Nggak jelas. Baru kebuka. Aduh. Checkpoint dapat. Oke. Ampun dah. Palanya juga masih nggak bisa loh. Ya ampun dah, udah kayak maling aja guys ini. Rajin loncat. Nggak ada apa-apa ya. Kita harus main game itu, kita harus selalu lihat ke belakang.
The dark presence can take over almost anything. That includes machinery like vehicles. In the next scene you will see the bulldozer attacking you, and it might be familiar to you from demos that have been shown in different shows before. I would like to say that plenty of thought and research went into this, but the fact is that it was basically just a lucky test when we fooled around with the AI and physics. And here you can see the results.
Oke. Jadi semua benda bisa menyerang kita, dan nanti di next, nggak tahu nih nextnya kapan, ada bulldozer yang bakal nyerang kita. What the fuck tuh gak? Oke, flare gun, jata, baterai, flash nggak ada, curangnya tuh di situ. Ini kalau ada flash, bisa punya flash, semua masalah kegelapan teratasi guys. Bulldozer mana? Coba lihat, ada bulldozer gak? Belum ada. Nanti pasti ada bulldozer guys. Anjrit, belum mulai. Wah, bulldozer datang. Keren. Ya ampun, banyak banget lagi. Ya. Oke. Ya mati deh gua. Oke, kalau di situ bulldozer datang, musuh datang dari sana, kita ambilin dulu. Yang kita harus lawan, oke, dari sana itu ada lagi. Let's go. Selamat tinggal kasih. Itu pintu bakalan kebuka gak? Dadah.
I had never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine.
Gue juga seneng liat sunrise akhirnya. Ya, rusak mobilnya.
The coal mine wasn't far now. Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch at a straw.
Oke guys, aku akan stop dulu sampai di sini. Berarti kita harus ketemu penculik dari si Alice. Si Alice ini istri dari si Alan Wake. Oke, aku mulai mengerti alur ceritanya Kak. Dan mulai ya nggak menikmati juga sih guys, karena serem ya. Oke deh. Thank you buat kalian yang udah nonton dari awal. Jangan lupa di like, comment, subscribe. Nantikan video di Better Late Than Never selanjutnya. See you guys.